Hi, Matt with Lidlox here, and in this video we're going to install a set of Lidlox grip tip helmet locks on a Harley Davidson with stock rubber grips on it. Now we're going to install the rubber plug version for 1-inch bars, and in order to do that we're going to cut a hole in the end of this rubber grip. There's just a hollow bar underneath there, so all we have to do is make a hole in the end of that rubber grip to be able to install this style of helmet lock. Now, word of warning on all of these Harley Davidsons with electronic throttle. This is a 2012 Street Glide here, and it's got electronic throttle on the right side. We don't want to try this procedure on the right side. You know, do not drill into that right side grip on the electronic throttle bikes. There's electrical components under there that position sensor is in the end of that handlebar over there, so we don't want to go drilling into any of these bikes on the right side with the electronic throttle. The older bikes with the pull cables on the throttle, no problem. You can go ahead and install a pair of lid locks. You can do exactly the same procedure on the throttle side as on this side. The only difference is, of course, when you tighten this down on the throttle side, you just want to space it out just a little bit and make sure it's not rubbing against the end of the throttle, and make sure your throttle operates freely when you do that. So today we're just going to do the install on the on the left side here, and we're just going to do the single. Now this procedure works on any bike with rubber grips, where you can just make a hole in the end of it and access the end of the hollow handlebar. And we've got these helmet locks in black and chrome, and we've got them for 1-inch bars, and we've got them for 7/8 bars. So there's a whole lot of motorcycles out there with rubber grips and 1/8 bars and 7/8 bars. Now the one way you can install 2 helmet locks on this bike with the electronic throttle is if you have Kuriokin ISO grips, or Kuriokin ISO flame, or transformer, or braided grips. There is a lid locks that screws to the end of all of those Kuriokin grips with the 440 screw holes in it. And so if you have those grips on this bike, you can install a set of Lidlox helmet locks on the left and the right side. And there's a whole lot of those grips out there. They're very popular grips. So all of you guys can do the pair. If you want to stick with your stock rubber grips, you can just do the left side on the electronic throttle bikes. And once again, the earlier bikes, you can do this same procedure on both sides. So there's probably you know, a bunch of ways to make a hole in the end of this. You could just take an X-Acto knife and carve it out. I don't like working with the X-Acto knife blade like that and pushing on it that hard. If you slip with that blade, you know, it's just a little dangerous. I like this procedure. Once again, there's probably a bunch of ways to make a hole in the end of that rubber grip. But let's go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch drill bit and drill a pilot hole in there. There's already a small hole in here to get started, so it's real easy. So that's it, just our 1/2-inch pilot hole. And that just helps get started. I'm going to use a die grinder, you know, a Dremel tool with a nice cutter bit just like that, a grinding stone. You know, any of those tools will work to get this job done. Now all we have to do is make that hole the same size as the ID of the bar, so that rubber plug will fit in there. We don't want to go too much bigger because we want to see the edge of our kind of raggedy hole. So the helmet lock's quite a bit bigger than that ID, so it's going to cover up that edge pretty good. But that's all it's got to be, is the same ID as the metal bar. So we can kind of use the inside of the metal bar as a guide, with this bit's long enough to fit all the way up in there. So let's go ahead and open this on up to the ID of the bar. Now the whole reason that we did the procedure with the grinder and the 1/2-inch drill is I'm just going under the assumption that you don't have a 13/16 drill bit laying around. But if you do, the 13/16 is just the right size, and you can just go ahead and drill out the end of that grip with the 13/16 bit, and you'll be done. No grinding necessary. So that's it. Just wanted to add that. If you got the right size drill bit to do the whole thing with the drill bit, then you're done. Now that's about it. We've got that hole opened up to the ID of the bar. Let's go ahead and check it. As long as our rubber plug and our spacer fit in there, then you're good to go. So that's it. In order to install this, just insert it in there and then tighten down your 6mm screw and align the slot on your lid locks pointing down towards the ground. Tighten that down till that rubber plug gets fairly snug in there, and that's solid as a rock. Then, just like the rest of these installs, we take our helmet lock core, thread it into the end, then take your key, and using your key as a tool, that little ridge on there, just insert it in that slot on the helmet, on the lock core body, and just bottom that out. Don't torque it down too much. The set screw is going to hold it. So then we go underneath here with your Allen and snug that set screw down just like that, and you're installed. Now I'll just go over how to use these again. You take your helmet extenders that come with your kit, and on a clasp type helmet, this will slide up through the clasp. On a D-ring, you can put it right through the D-ring like that. Stick it through the end, push the pin in, and there you go, you're all locked up. So once again, on your electronic throttle bikes, don't go drilling into the end of the throttle. You've got electronics under there, but with the stock grips, you can go ahead and install a single on your left side. And again, with the Kuryakin grips, you can install a pair. And once again, this same procedure works on all kinds of bikes out there. It's pretty generic, and there you go. You're installed on a Harley Davidson with stock rubber grips. Thanks for watching.